Hey everyone, this is the presentation that will go over the syllabus for research methods in communication for the spring semester 2016. This is sort of an example of how this course will function. It is a flipped course, meaning that you will be watching or going over the lectures at home before you come to class. In class, we'll be doing exercises, we'll be having discussions, we'll be doing group work. As we move through the semester a little bit further, we'll be working more and more on the project itself within class. So one of the things that is going to be a requirement of students is to view these lectures before the start of classes for a week, for that week. So again, that's how this class will operate. I'm Dr. Bosworth. My office is in 704 Fairfax. We're the three little buildings that are kind of behind the Bonnie and to the side. We're the middle building. You go up the half flight of stairs on the outside and turn right, and I'm that first office on the right, right next to the stairs that keep going up. And it's office suite C or apartment C or whatever those things are. And I'm the first office on the right across from the kitchen. My office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to noon. And if you can't meet that, they're by appointment. My phone number is 571-781-2652. The university gave faculty the opportunity to do away with their phone numbers. And this is a Google number that I have that you can reach me at. You call, you leave a message, it sends me a text and an email, and I can get back with you quickly. Obviously, you can also get hold of me through email, cbosworth@radford.edu. Class days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 9:50 in Russell Hall 346. We will meet every day unless we do something where I give you group work to do out, but that's basically going to be within class. The course is going to basically be designed to give you an introduction to the topic of communication research. Since statistics aren't a prerequisite for this class, we won't get that far into statistics. We'll cover some of the basics, some of the concepts, but again, we won't be doing anything very in-depth there. What we're going to do is more for a strategic standpoint of the use of research. How do we use research to develop communication campaigns, develop plans for communications? We place emphasis on gathering and analyzing primary and secondary data, and then how that determines research design, data gathering, and data analysis. Objectives in the course. What we do here is more what is done in the industry rather than academia. We do more applied research than pure research. And it's covered from the researcher point of view. What you should get out of this class. Be critical about the difference between opinion and fact in communication, understanding when research is needed, and being able to develop a cost-benefit determination of when research should and shouldn't be done. Be comfortable and inventive when finding secondary sources. You've got to maybe do some of that. You won't have money all the time to go out and buy data, so you've got to be inventive on how you get that data. How to organize qualitative research, especially focus groups. We'll be doing that within this class. And you know when to use quantitative research surveys. We'll be talking about oh, I forgot the experiments, but we won't really be doing experimental methods as much, simply because yeah, it's not my area of expertise, and we've only got so much time within the class. We'll talk about them, and we'll talk about the benefits and the limitations of research, of experiments. We just won't be doing one in class. There's a prerequisite for this class. It is COMS 130, the Introduction to Communication course. I will check prerequisites of all the students. If you have found not to have the prerequisite and you haven't talked to me previously, I know there's a couple of you that have switched majors. You're currently in 130. You've gotten permission from the director or someone else, and I've given you the okay. If you're just taking the course without 130 and not telling anyone or not having previously gotten permission, I'll go through and drop you. So you have to have that 130. Again, teaching method, this course is taught from a flipped classroom format. Lectures will be provided through the D2L site that you went to get this one. You need to have the responsibility and the motivation to view these ahead of time. You're going to be using class time for exercises, discussions, to reinforce the material that we go over each week in these lectures. Also, there's going to be a team project, as there always is in my classes. We will take a project from problem definition through secondary research, through the formulation of qualitative research in a focus group, developing a questionnaire, implementing a survey, and analyzing results, and writing a research report and providing communication recommendations. So that's the way this course operates. There's a textbook that's required. It's Jugenheimer, Kelly, Hudson, and Bradley. It's the second edition of Advertising and Public Relations Research. So you need that textbook. I mean, there's no questions about it. Also, D2L is, that's where you're going to get all these lectures. If you have disabilities, you need to register with the Disability Resource Office. I believe they're over in Tyler Hall, 54 to 69 or something like that. You need to bring documentation to me and what we need to do for accommodations in the area of your learning disability. Seating and attendance, there's going to be no assigned seating in class, but there will be attendance taken every day. So you're not going to be able to participate in the in-class exercises and discussions if you're not there. And I've got the discretion on how to set my attendance policy. I can allow for a reasonable number of absences for university, sponsored activities, health problems, emergencies, religious holidays, etc. I've set that number at 3, so 1 week. You can miss 1 week out of the 15 and no questions asked. If you miss, well, it says lower the student's final grade by 1 letter grade if she misses 3 classes. Basically, it's 4 classes. If you miss the 3, then it's not. I'll make sure that I make that more. If you miss 2 weeks, you'll flunk. So the 4th one, you lose a letter grade. The 6th one, you flunk. That's just 2 weeks out of 15 is way too much. So that's something that you've got to look at there. If you're not in class, you can't participate. So that's what you're looking at there. And also being late to class is a bugaboo. If you're late 3 times, that's going to equal 1 absence. This is spring, so that means anything goes in terms of the weather in Radford. This class will follow the university's policy on inclement weather. So if the university is closed during this class period, we obviously won't meet class. You'll still be able to get the lecture. We just won't be doing anything in class that time. So the lectures, you still will be responsible for the material because that stuff is up online and you're able to view it. So you don't get to skip over the lecture. A team project, basically what we're looking at there is you're going to work in groups of 3 or 4 other classmates. You'll choose a product or brand to complete a communication research on. I will probably give you the product category that you'll be doing it on. And I might even provide the product because I might, or the brand, because I might be able to give you a lot of information. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in class. There's going to be 2 semesters exams and then a final exam. So three overall exams in the class. They'll be from the textbook. They'll be obviously from these lectures, from the discussions, any kind of videotapes that I have. Not too many guest speakers. It's hard to get anybody in advertising, public relations research because they're not really in this area. So that's something that you're going to be there. The final exam as well as the other 2 exams are all on D2L. I don't take up class time for quizzes or exams. So that will be available probably from the last day of classes, Friday, April 29th until Wednesday, May 6th at 3 p.m. Again, quizzes and assignments will be given on a regular basis. There's no makeup for missed quizzes. If you miss a quiz, that's your fault. There is a 24/7 hour grading rule after you get a quiz back. You've got 24/7. You've got 24 hours to request a grade review. Once we get through an exam, if by the second exam you don't question anything, you don't get to go. You don't at the end of the semester. You don't get to go back and say, well, on the first exam or the second exam, this is what happened. I don't know what happened there. There's something with the how the grades are determined. The exam 1 is 15%, exam 2 is 15%, exam 3 is 25 or 20%. The final exam is 20%. The project is 25%, and the quizzes and assignments are 25%. I think that's just, I'm in a reading view in Word. So something happened there that's not right. I think it smushed stuff up. I think the actual Word document is shows there. The grading system, I went to a grade plus system. I don't do minuses. So an A is 90 to 100, a B is 85 to 89, a B is 80 to 84, a C is 75 to 79, C is 70 to 74, D plus is 65 to 69, D is 60 to 64, an F is 59 and below. So that's how the grading system works. And I'll make sure that that is right in the actual document that's on D2L and not in this reading mode. The honor code, you're responsible for following the honor code. Basically, that says by accepting admission to Radford University, each student makes a commitment to understand, support, abide by the university honor code without compromise or exception. Violations of academic integrity will not be tolerated. Class will be conducted in strict observance of the honor code, and you can go to the student handbook for details. Again, you need to, this course is going to be a little bit different. There'll be a lot of activity in class. It's not going to be like your traditional class. So you need to be in a professional mindset when you do here. So students who talk incessantly while the instructor is conducting class, I'm not going to tolerate that. If you loudly and frequently interrupt the flow of the class with questions or interjections without first being recognized, I'm not gonna accept that. Don't become belligerent when when confronted about your inappropriate behavior. I will call you down. If you're on your cell phone, if you're texting, if you're not paying attention, I will bring attention to you and tell you to stop it. Don't become belligerent. Don't treat me, fellow classmates, and classroom guests disrespectfully. Um, you need to treat us with dignity at all times. Refrain texting while in class. It's 50 minutes. You can put your phone away and not have it out. And then turn off your cell phones or put them on silent and just simply put them away. I'll have mine in case there's an emergency on campus and I'm notified. Believe me, we'll know. We're in Russell Hall. You can bring a computer class. I don't really think you need to have it for note taking. But if you want to have it for other exercises, and you might need it, please do it. Just make sure that you're not using it while we are in a discussion mode and not an exercise mode. And then if you're consistently disruptive in class, that is an honor code violation. I can ask you to leave. So just be respectful of your classmates and of myself, because it is an academic setting. Again, if you've got questions about material, meet me in my office during my office hours or some other arranged time. I'm not going to discuss individual grades in class. That is not the appropriate place for that. And again, expectations. You're expected to attend class regularly, participate in class discussions, prepare for class ahead of time. A lot of the responsibility is going to rest with you. So this is one of my favorite classes to teach. So it should be fun. It should be a fun semester. How the course operates, here's everything that we do. The syllabus, the first week we jump right in. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Chapter 4, we get into designing research and secondary research. We talk about syndicated research. February 1st, we get into some other online resources and then build our way into qualitative research. Then we talk about focus groups, content analysis, in-depth interviews. We work through the material. The first exam is on Friday, February 19th, chapters 1 through 12. Then we go right into talking about empirical research, survey research, sampling methods, measuring instruments, how we word questions within a survey instrument, how we train interviewers for face-to-face surveys, and how you get accurate responses from participants, how we tabulate data. Spring break, we come back and we've got an exam that week. We talk about applications of quantitative research, experimental approaches, quasi-experimental design, as well as experimental applications in advertising and PR. And then the last part of the semester, we get into some other types of research. Scaling techniques, how we handle data, historical legal research, mapping techniques. That's not what you think, it's mapping people's perceptions. Statistics, talking about who should conduct the research, whether we do that in-house or hire a research company, how we apply research to advertising and PR situations, writing the research report, and ethics in research. The last 3 weeks basically is group work. And then the final exam, it will be due again by Wednesday, May 4th or 6th. I'll have to look at that. It said 6th one place and 4th here. I'll have to make sure that that's right. And then I'm going to guess it's May 4th. The 29th is Friday, 31. Yeah, it's the 4th. Not Wednesday, May 6th. I think it said earlier May 6th. Our group presentations will be during our final final exam time. So we will meet for a final exam. It just we won't be taking an exam. We will be doing the group presentations. Then I provide you with the academic calendar for Radford University for the spring. Just be aware there's some things in there. Last day withdraw from one or more classes is Friday, March 18th. The last day of classes is the 29th. So just be aware of some of those dates. So that's something that you've got to be aware of. So that's this presentation. We're going to have a good semester. It's going to be fun. And I look forward to working with all of you.